There we go, there we go. Ooh, Blanky Dance Party. I didn't realize we were getting that going quite so early in the evening. There's Pretzel. There's Pretzel. How's everybody doing tonight? It's wonderful to see you fine folks. My chat is all the way over here for some reason, so I have to look all the... Oh, that's better. Well, that's... See, now I got it just right in my eye line. Kursala, good to see you. Project Dark Fox to Square, good evening to you. Amish Stig. Oh my god, look at all the blankies. Oh, Skelebi got a blankie too. Oh no. It's a regular fucking party around these places. Round these parts, round these places. I English pretty well. I talk good. I'm very smart. Sumitha, 28 months. 28 months. I'm pretty staggered by that myself. Yes, that is indeed true. Parallax, how you doing today, man? Yeah, over on the Black Pants Legion, Twitch. That's what we're on, right? We're on Twitch. Is that what this website's called? Yeah, I think so. Over on the Black Pants Legion Twitch, you'll be able to find some painting with Parallax Games over there tonight. Painting a rather auspicious battle mech, specifically the recently completed De Tomaso, done by myself and Jungle. What is he? He was saying he wants to go by now. JP Design, something like that. I don't think he likes his screen name. Sumitha, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for all of your support. More than anything, though, and I know I say this a lot, but it's true, and I don't want people to forget it. Thank you for being here, man. It's always wonderful to see you in chat. Squeezel! How you doing today, man? Here and ready to lurk, David Rogers. We accept you. We accept you in all your lurking glory. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch, after all. I'm going to sit here for a moment and slowly steep my tea just out of frame so that my hand is just moving up and down right over my crotch, as I've been made aware. This is what it looks like when I'm steeping my tea. What a wonderful time. What a wonderful time for someone to come into chat for the first time. Welcome, new chatters. I'm just going to sit here and do this for a little while. Jez the Bell, welcome in. Get my lemon in here. I need to have my tea. I just had a delicious fruit smoothie. But I am a creature of habit, and it is my habit to have a little bit of caffeine at the start of any given stream. I'm so glad that I've really cut down on coffee almost entirely. Like I only do coffee in the mornings now, and that is a big change for me. Awkwardly still. There's nothing awkward about it. We call that intensity. Just you and me. Cheek to cheek, butt to butt, everybody's gonna bust a nut. Yeah, dipping that lemon. Yeah, they're all euphemisms. It turns out that my kink is humiliation. That explains so much. Habit of rubbing his right thigh or knee. Some common fact, it looked like he was wanking on screen. Yeah, you know, these are the hazards that we invite when we turn on a camera in our private space and go, watch us. Watch us do things that we don't normally think about. How's everybody's day going? I hope everybody's having a pretty good Thursday. Thursdays are always a little funny. But, you know, you get a pretty good read on the week by the time you get to Thursday. So I hope everybody's weeks are going well. Romeo Void, welcome in. Good to see you. How's the 3D printer? Okay, so good news on that front. I did get I got a replacement glass sheet ordered, and actually sitting in my mailbox right now should be a couple of acrylic sheets. And I'm arguing with myself about something, and maybe you guys can help me decide. Now, I found one of you actually found and linked in chat someone on Reddit who had replaced... Oh, that just takes practice, Dino Man. Who had replaced the broken glass in their 3D printer with a sheet of 2mm acrylic, which is exactly the right thickness. I have calipers, so I'm able to find this out immediately. I know that plexiglass and acrylic... Like, this is where me being a general fucking ignoramus really starts to work against me. I know that plexiglass, acrylic, it blocks some UV. I don't think it blocks the frequency, or what would that be? The, trying to think how UV light is measured. It's a wave, and the range of that wave measured in nanometers is what? Anyway, I don't think it blocks that. I think that all the UV would get through. Wavelength, thank you, Parallax. Me, smart science man. The other thought that I have is I know that ultraviolet exposure affects acrylic in the sense that over time it can yellow and weaken it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the wavelength it blocks is not... It is, I think it's like up to 300 nanometers or something like that. I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure we're good on that. My concern is just... how long would the acrylic last? Now, generally, when we talk about acrylic being affected by UV exposure, we're talking about it being left outside, exposed to the sun for long periods of time, like days, weeks, years, and I mean, like, we're talking about, I mean, not an insignificant amount of exposure. 5 hours of print time. Say half of that time it's being actively exposed to UV, so that's like 2 hours of print. I mean, that could add up. But how, like... I think I'm overthinking this. This is probably the kind of thing where I could put acrylic in there and run my printer for years and never have an issue with it. But... what am I eventually going to start having print problems? Print problems, and then realize, like, oh, I need to change that out because the UV has yellowed the acrylic or has clouded it in some way. Like, I genuinely don't know. So the question is, do I just go with the, like, $5 acrylic replacement that I could do later tonight? Because all I gotta do is cut it with a Dremel. Or do I wait the 20 days or so for the sheet of nice tempered glass to come from Elegoo? I mean, I guess I could do the acrylic and then it likely wouldn't be an issue for years. And then once it is an issue, if it is an issue, then I will have a sheet of glass to go ahead and trade it out to. I don't know. I can't decide if I'm being impatient or not. I mean, I am being impatient, but I can't decide if it's a problem in this particular case. I feel a little dumb about it, Stoneless B, just because my Mars 3 is like my nice super accurate printer. Like, am I going to be making it less accurate? Less? Am I going to be reducing its fidelity? This is the question. This is the question. I have some time to decide, and I'm contemplating it. As far as I know, that piece, all it does is it just has to allow ultraviolet through it. And all it really does is provide structural support to the screen. The thing is, Sumitha, I can't just swap the acrylic out for glass once the glass gets here. I would have to swap the entire screen because you'd have to stick the screen to the acrylic. And then removing the screen from it without damaging the screen is a big fucking maybe. Like, that might not work. The good news is my Mars 2 is functioning quite well. I had a few issues with it. That turned out to be a corrupted thumb drive. I had another issue with it. That turned out to be a corrupted brain drive. Because without thinking, as I was swapping parts around, I put the Mars 3 print plate on the Mars 2, and it started to fuck up, and I was like, what did I do wrong? I was like, oh, okay, I'm having one of those days, I guess. But I got that fixed. Got that fixed. It's printing right now. What is it at? It's at like 97% of the turrets that I've gotten done, which hopefully we'll be polishing off the last 2 tonight. The 2 we're going to be working on are going to be I'm kind of with you on that, Sumitha. Something other than glass would degrade faster. That's what I'm thinking, Automat. Like, the glass, I'll just... the glass, I'll wait 20 days. I'll put it in, and I'll never think about it again. I might even email Elegoo again and be like, oopsies, I broke it putting it in, and get them to send me another one just so I can, like, file it away. In theory, I could just go to Home Depot and get them to cut me a piece of glass, or cut a piece of glass myself to the right dimensions. My only concern is the thickness matters a lot. It has to be pretty precisely 2 inches. And I've had some trouble finding, not 2 inches, 2 millimeters. I've had some trouble finding precisely 2 millimeter thick tempered glass. I do want it tempered. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I think that's what I'm doing. Well, in that case, I ordered the acrylic. I've got a couple of clear acrylic sheets. I'll do something with them. I don't fucking know what. I'm gonna have them lying around for a little while. 3/4 acid. That's a nice middle ground, isn't it? How you doing today, Automat? It's good to see you. Stoneless B, welcome in. Pleasure to see you as well. I'll probably just wait. Because, yeah, the glass, I'll just never have to think about it again. And hopefully won't break it again. I'm still really impressed at my capacity to fuck that up. It's one of those where after you do it and you realize what went wrong, because I spent like a few hours after that really just trying to figure out what did I do until I was cleaning up the mess, and there is this little chunk. It was a chunk of failed jump jet plume. Thank you so much to Square for never letting me forget these things. From a failed print of the De Tomaso. It was back for revenge. I'm glad that stuff on my finger was lemon pulp. I wasn't sure what it was, but I put it in my mouth anyway. Oh my god, what's up, Roland? How you doing? Got some stuff to fix on my Locust post-test print. So this is the admittedly, Automat, this is the least fun part of the whole process. But it is, in my opinion, the most important part. Where you're going through now is the part that I would say 70% of 3D modelers out there just straight don't do, which is print it, test it, modify it, print it again, get it fucking right. There are way too many files out there that are just like, I'm done, there you go, fucking have fun. I am crazy anal retentive about my own files, but as a result, how many of my files have failed for you? The answer is probably not many. And if they did, I'm sure it's your fault. De Tomaso's Revenge. Oh, that straight up sounds like a D&D campaign. Just got back from my union meeting. Did you get your card, Roland? How did it go? Ooh. Yum, 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 yum. Easily the most important. Some of it's going to take a long time, and there won't be anything of note to show for a bit as a result. Also, never printed anyone else's files yet. Ooh, really? Never? We might have to do something about that. I assume that was supposed to be now, but I'm chuckling at how it was just replaced with not. I am in fact chuckling at that. Well, I guess that doesn't work because you can see me and hear me, and you can tell that I'm not actually chuckling. That's like that moment. You guys watch Arrested Development when Larry's at dinner and the one dude's wife is just like, "LOL, Larry, LOL," and he's like, "No, you're not. The fuck are you talking about?" That's the Social Assassin episode. I love that episode. Bunch of free Battletech files seem to just have the sculpt it and not modify it after one print. There was a whole Kickstarter of that, Dino Man. Has anyone, by the way, heard from our Australian friend? Our Maxim City compatriot, who dumped a bunch of shitty broken files, took about $15,000 and just fucked off into the outback? I haven't heard one word from that after it. Not the kind of guy to say a toe to so, but fucking a toe to so. Automat, that's very much how I got started. Not strictly true. I got my 3D printer because I bought a Kickstarter. But after that, I was disappointed in the quality of the files that I got, so I immediately started making my own. Is the Octo laser turret like way too goddamn much? It looks a little ridiculous. It's 4 lasers on each side. I don't know what to tell you. I like the quad laser. I think the quad laser is one of the best looking turrets at this point. I opted to keep it fairly simple, reminding myself that these are in fact very small. They're like that big when you print them out. But yeah, I want to do one with dual PPCs, and I want to do one with dual plasma rifles. Now, someone help me out here. Battletech nerds. Roland, Sumitha, help me out here. Plasma rifle is an energy weapon that has ammunition. The ammunition does not explode when hit. This seems weird to me, because if I had a plasma rifle, its ammunition would probably be some form of volatile gas? It's one of the few ammunitions that makes sense to me as might actually explode if hit, but okay, it doesn't. What is the ammunition for a plasma rifle in the context of Battletech? Are they cartridges? Foamed copper. Accelerated to such speeds that it ignites the air. That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about physics to dispute it. So it fires cartridges. I'm probably gonna defer to anything that Roland says on this, because I trust that he is a giant nerd and he knows these things. But I honestly don't know much about plasma rifles at all, and I only recently looked up. I've never used a plasma rifle in Battletech. I only recently looked them up and realized that they're kinda OP, arguably. They're like really good against infantry and also everything else. It loads a foam cartridge, lasers it into plasma, then launches it using a modified coil gun. So it's throwing, like, plasma bolts. It's not shooting, like, a stream of plasma. So it's kind of like a Star Wars blaster? Is that what we're saying? Yeah, see, Drakari, I would have thought, rather than battery charge, because I feel like battery charge is good for, like, you know, PPCs or lasers. Non-chem lasers, obviously. I would have thought, like, tanks of gas that would then be energized and excited into plasma. Okay, that gives me some ideas. It's a Gauss rifle that uses lasers to shoot melted bullets. Okay. Fine. Alright, that gives me some ideas for how to build it at any rate. Cartridges. Huh. So it would probably have an ammo feed. It could be the only energy weapon that would logically have an ammo feed. The spiciest silly string. Ooh, silly string's already pretty spicy if you get it in your eyes. Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds to... A Gauss rifle uses lasers to shoot melted bullets. I was gonna say, that sounds to me like the nonsense that is the PPC already. Kind of. Alright. Alright. Well, the first thing I need to do is pull on over my PPC, because I'm going to use the same design that I went with a little while ago, because I like it. Got the PPC saved individually, do I not? Oh, I've got my Shadowhawk PPC. I can probably use that. Chemical lasers are a thing, but we're not using any of them here. Yeah, the PPC is more electricity and the plasma rifle's more burning. Even my boogers are spicy. Stop doing that. Stop grabbing the wrong axis. There we go. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to do very little modification to this. I'm really just going to plop it on the turret, because damn it, I already designed this PPC and I like it. You're just describing a magazine, Sumitha. All magazines are cargo containers attached to weapons. More like weapons from the original Mass Effect, basically a block of ammunition, like a stack of pellets. Okay, so what you're saying is that the ammunition cartridges would not necessarily be very large. Alright, let's make a new component here. Dual PPC. Bring our focus back up. When it comes to plasma rifle ammo, it's Nerf or nothing. Will it take the knockoff Nerf ammo that they sell at Walmart, though? That's the real question. A block of ammunition, like a literal stack of rectangular flat sheets. What if I like the look of a series of round cartridges better? And David Drake's hammers, slammers, and who doesn't want to take cues from something with a name that sounds like a fucking David Dakota movie? The plasma gun ammunition are copper discs the size of a penny. That just sounds like a penny. It's just shooting pennies. Though in fairness, I hear if you drop those from the top of a high enough place, they can get pretty dangerous. As long as you ignore the fact that terminal velocity is something that exists. Jesus, why did I divide this up? Like, oh my god, this is crazy. When I built this, I have it divided up into middle, rear, foregrip, barrel, and the pivot connection, which is actually gone, so I'll delete that. I don't know why I subdivided it so much. I like this design, I'm going to use it, but why did I do that? This can be a solid piece. What a goofball. Look, this is 3 pieces. What's wrong with you, past me? Weirdo? What have I walked in on? You've walked in on worse than this, Wiley Cliff. That might be accurate, Sumitha. In fairness, this is my, reference PPC that I can just pull out of the file library and then modify it into whatever I wanted, so I guess it is probably best that this one is divided up this way. But in this case, it can be one big piece. Oh. That's part of why. because it's using patterned components, and I need to fix that. Yep, make those independent. What weapon would be awesome in BattleTech? Masers! What about blazers? When you say mazer, literally all I can think about are the mazer tanks that they use against Godzilla. That's like one of the only sources of fiction that I know masers from. What is happening here? Are you not connected? Oh. I see. The Globo Gym dodgeball team. What was it? Meet my new team. I'm trying to remember how it went now. Blaze. Laser. Blazer. Oh yeah, we got Romeo Void. Have you not seen the renders? We got him, baby. Hang on. Let's bring up turret number 2. I'll show you everything we have so far. So these are the 3 categories, starting with missile. We have SRM-6 times 2, SRM-6 times 4, LRM-10 times 2, LRM-10 times 4, or 20 times 2, however you want to divide it up. Then we make the missiles go away, and we bring up ballistics. And under ballistics, we have quad light autocannons. I'm not saying specifically which autocannon any of this is, because y'all can just decide that shit for yourself. Like, honestly, when you're building your turret stats, whatever you're comfortable with is what I'm comfortable with. But yeah, we got quad light autocannons. We got dual heavy autocannons, which, Penny, to the man who can tell me where I totally ripped this weapon design off from. It's one of my favorite sci-fi weapons, and I've been looking for an excuse to use the design, and then I did it, so there it is. Vergaderung, 31 months. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, Vergaderung, but thank you for being here, man. It's wonderful to see you. Those are our heavy autocannons, and then we have our single heavy Gauss rifle. God damn it, Vergaderung. Yes. Fuck. It wasn't supposed to happen that quickly. Ah, that's embarrassing. Yeah, yes. that is where I ripped that design off from, because I've always loved the Unreal Tournament flat cannon. Son of a bitch. Okay, anyway. Yeah, this is the one that I took some inspiration from the Gauss cannon in Doom 2016, because it's one of my favorites, but with significant modifications. But yeah, this is I'm calling it heavy railgun. It's got a couple of goofy little coils over on the other side, kind of balancing it out. And then finally, and my personal favorite, a couple of big honkin' rotary autocannons that are honestly probably too big, but they look cool, so I just kind of don't care that much. And because I'm a huge fucking nerd myself, I felt the urge to, like, build in the secondary motor assembly that turns the primary barrel rotors, and I've got a little ammunition drum and big-ass rounds being fed into it, and, like, I don't know, I had to. I had to do it. Was the cool. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. No, I want them on top so they can aim down. That's the idea, is that you could aim them down to the very bottom of the turret. If you put them low, they would hit. It was the idea. The idea was, I'm just presenting decent and sort of general combinations of weapons, and then you can call these whatever you want within the context of the game that you're playing, but you'll have a good physical representation for whatever it is, without me having to build literally everything. Like, because there are so many possible weapon combinations in this game, and like, I put on all these little, for the Provost turrets, I have these little sensor blisters on the front here, and I figured if you really wanted to, you could call these lasers. There's nothing stopping you from painting these and calling them lasers for your own purposes. In my mind, they're sensors, but, you know, you do you. Which cannon, Kursala? These ones? The racks? I mean, you're welcome to any of these files if you want them. Absolutely, Romeo Void. And yeah, these are attached to these little plugs, and these will attach to any of the hard points. And I'm also thinking, and I'm not going to be working on these tonight necessarily, but I'm going to create, a few more items that have these hard points on them for these turrets to be used with. I'm thinking like a 4-hex bunker that has a turret in the middle. I'm thinking like a 3-hex bunker that has 2 turrets on it. Probably a triangular 6-hex bunker that has 3. And then something like a turret generator. Because that's a good way to run it on tabletop. Turrets get really powerful really, really fast, and it's good to have like an objective that you can destroy to disable them or capture. Doors for retractable hidden ones. Forgot around. You've seen the hard points, right? That's literally what the hard points are. Which for some reason I've got these. Like that is what the Hextech hardpoint is a pop-up door. Now, the big issue with that is many of these turrets would absolutely not fit through that pop-up door. My answer to that is, fuck you. Use your imagination. They compact somehow using patented cockroach technology. But literally all of the Hextech hardpoints are designed to be pop-up doors. That's my thinking, Desert Owl. Is that the bunker with one turret is going to specifically have some infantry ports on it. Just defensive structures, small ones. And then probably a single hex tower other than this one. And then I'm thinking once the energy ones are done, which I gotta work on now, I'll do a couple of light artillery turrets, one with thumper artillery, one with arrow 4, and probably in that pack I'll roll in an anti-personnel turret with like flamers and machine guns on it. I did Vergaderung. I hate them. I find them loathsome. They have such a bizarre array of weapons in them, and they're so damn tough. Yeah, I know they do. I'm choosing to ignore them. I do appreciate you bringing them to my attention. I'm willfully ignoring them. Oh, that's easy to show. Get my business organized a little bit here. Okay, that's good. Sentry turret 2 can go away. Rendering lights can go away. Let's just go ahead and bring somebody in to give you some scale. Now, in standard Hextech terms, these towers are 2 levels tall, so approximately 2 inches, filling up 1 hex. If I go ahead and drag in, say, let's bring in the Thunderbolt, because he's always my favorite. That's an interesting idea, Desert Owl. Sort of like a hardened emplacement, yeah? Actually, that makes me think of a very specific episode of Fang of the Sun Dougram, and I could go ahead and actually make that. But I'm not going to do it right now. So these are the turrets next to mechs. Admittedly, a somewhat squat mech. The Thunderbolt is technically shorter than several mechs that are lighter than it because it's so wide and so stocky. Well, Shumatha, the nice thing about these being on this little pop-up base is you could put them literally anywhere you want. But yeah, I'm thinking about one that is more at ground level, as opposed to on a tower. You know, Desert Owl, I'm always trying to make these sets in such a way that if you're using Hextech already, if you have the previous sets, if you get this set, it will just sort of exponentially expand the way you can build those sets and the things that you can do with it. Like, Sigma Dome and the city curtain walls have had these hardpoints on them since I designed them, but no turrets to go on them. I mean, now you've got that. That's something. They're all gonna have doors for Gatorung. Literally every one of them is gonna have doors. They're all the same hardpoint. Every single one. Of course you can, Roland. You with your doors. I swear, there's no pleasing you. Let's make the hasty go away. I want to exaggerate this slightly, bring it out a little further than I normally do. Pilings for the elevated highways that can incorporate turret tops. That's actually a really fucking good idea. Like, over the blacktop. Yeah? Like on either side, like a U-shaped cradle, and with towers coming up on either side, and then turret. Oh. That's actually a really good idea. I hadn't thought of that. That may happen. I'm not going to promise you that with the initial release set, because I'm trying to get the initial release set out. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. I want to do something else with this. More like Fusion. How you doing today, Happy Heretic? I'm probably going to keep these PPC turrets pretty simple. Mostly because I need to do more work on the plasma rifles. Well, my thought is more that they're, you know, for defending the ingress point of a city. For near the tunnel entrance to enforce toll collection. Now, in fairness, the tunnels currently have hard points on either side of them already. I think they do, don't they? Yeah, I was just thinking that actually, Vergata wrong. I'm kind of exaggerating everything on these, and I guess that way you could call it a heavy PPC if you really wanted to. I mean, that's, this is a pretty simple operation, since I've already built it. Like a 10% boost. Yes, 20%. I don't hate that. Gonna do something else with the back of it, though. I want to move it forward so the pivot point is right there. Let's make parking ticket meters. We can just take this all the way down, Wiley Cliff. I'm gonna make a little Karen Allen, and she can sit inside the toll booth, and she can issue tickets. What's up, sewer creature? How you doing? Pickle dip and heavy pee-pee. I want to do some of those reverse angle energy cells because they're among my favorite things. But I don't want any facing down, so I'm going to create kind of a new assembly on the back of this. Big ol' odd-shaped triangle. No down. Mostly to keep printing fairly easy. I try to orient all of these so that none of the supports attach to the top and viewable faces, and if you have random little bits sticking down, they tend to fail more often than not. So this is a consideration for ease of printing. Hey, Dweghelm, welcome in. Just realized your quad laser turret reminds me of two things. The defense... Oh, this is gonna hurt me, because that was the one that I actually came up without looking at anything else. Defense turrets on the Babylon 5 station pre-upgrade. Hey, you know what? I'll take it. That's fine. That's a good place to draw inspiration from. I totally did that on purpose. And the defense turrets on the Cylon station in the finale of Battlestar Galactica. Though I guess 4-barrel articulated turrets are a fairly generic concept, so never mind. Oh, well, that was a roller coaster ride. Do I want to shorten this? Is it sticking over the edge of the hex? A little bit, but not bad. That's fine. I want to make these larger. Pull 1.5 out, make that a new body. Now let's go ahead and go a little extreme with it. Out 60 degrees. Doesn't need to be a full 0.5 millimeter in that case. Yeah, I don't figure that one's gonna necessarily be used the most. I put it in there because you know, when you're using pop-up turrets, and I tend to think about this from the perspective of like someone who's kind of DMing games and running campaigns, not necessarily just competitive play. And I always think like that moment in Dungeons and Dragons when the DM reaches behind his screen and you're like, oh, what's he gonna come out with? And he comes out with the fucking Tarask, and you're just like, blah, 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 blah. You know, we have to have that moment in Battletech. When he comes out with the fucking, like, 2 atlases, and you're like, oh shit! Well, in this case, he's gonna come out and be like, there's 8 lasers on this turret. Like, oh fuck, why did I get close to that? You saw him, didn't you, Verd? I still think the rack is my favorite. It's way too big, and I just don't give a shit. I actually really like how the quad laser turret looks. It's kind of nice and compact and sort of aggressive but functional looking. And these are actually large enough that you should be able to get in there and lens them if you want to pretty easily. I mean, that's the idea, Sumitha. You can kind of justify it as any number of things. And then, yeah, then there's this one. Which is just, that's too many lasers. It's an unreasonable number of lasers. They put that down and you're just like, oh yeah. You'll note that's why I went ahead and did this little secondary piece right here, Vergaderung, was just to bulk it up and make it a bit tougher. Need to have at least one energy weapon that is as visually impressive as the big old nasty rotary autocannon. Stick 4 more on top. Yeah, we'll just do this. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, God. Put the railgun on top. Now 4 more on the bottom. Let's make a tower of lasers. Yo, bro. I heard you like lasers. You know, that's something I kind of was thinking when I did this, Sumitha, leaving this little hollow here in my initial design, is that I could release pieces that attach right here, that just glue on for things like ECM or C3 or other attachments. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to have any in the initial release, but it's just kind of there, so it's like later on I could release a pack of things that attach to the top. This is the theory. Deploy the LASIK turrets. Hey, check it out. I'm an eye doctor. Please do, Sumitha. I don't want that chamfer to be that big. There we go. I was like, I'm not actually irritated about that. I just look for any excuse I can get to use that particular GIF because I find it very amusing. Well, this is, see, Vergaderung and Sumitha, you with all your good ideas, this is precisely why I'm always really, really concerned with forward compatibility in my designs. I leave myself huge open doors that I can walk through later, where I can release parts to go with this. later on. Right now my concern is getting out the initial run of turrets that are going to cover your basic weapons and get people started. And then there's going to be a pack of artillery, and then there could be like a support pack. There could be, you know, like all kinds of, exactly, a turret control tower. We can sort of, you know, you give yourself room to grow. Waiting for God's flathead screwdriver. Oh, you expect me to go with a Phillips?
How much blood would you shed to regain purity?
Drop that down about there-ish. The more connected it is, the better. I think this will still look good. But this will print nice. That is the ticket. Now see, these are nearly a solid piece with only this tiny little void here. Which, for the purposes of casting in Siocast, the caster would just take a little piece of clay and stick it in there to block it off so that you don't have to worry about actually casting this void, but this overall is a nice solid piece for printing, while still looking fairly cool. I don't have a central plane for this yet, so let's make one. No, there isn't. It touches. This is all flush. You can see that goes beneath the surface. Now I can use the most important function in any 3D modeling program, mirror. Oh my god, it's amazing. So that might be worth bringing up. What about a full-fledged naval laser? Something that's primarily for anti-dropship defense. So this is a conversation that I just had with Alex, and that'll probably be the next move on the defensive pieces. In fact, there is a weapon I started to design that once we talked about it, we decided that that belonged on like an orbital defense cannon and not on an anti-mech turret, because I was just going fucking crazy with it. I don't want to show it. I'm going to save it. But we decided to make it bigger and make it an orbital cannon. So yeah, that's something that's going to happen. I was working on it and I sent him a picture and I said, "Have I lost my fucking mind?" And then he suggested maybe that would look better as an anti like dropship weapon, because it was a bit much. have an idea. First of all, let me clear my excess sketches, because I don't need these. You're damn right I do, Automat. Dinglebops, also known as Greeblies. It's, you know, it's a careful balance. Too many, and they become arguably difficult to paint. What happened here? Why is this all rotated funny? Did I do that originally? I guess I did. Is that gonna drive me crazy? It might. I can fix it. I know why it's this way, because I was trying to line up something with 4 equilateral details and 3, so this needs to be like 120 degrees. There we go. Perfect. All better. Now I won't lose my mind. And nobody gets hurt. Dinglebops are the stuff of life, I'll have you know. But it is a careful balance. Too many Greeblies, particularly on a mech, and you lose opportunities to paint cool things. Like, just the right amount. What Greeblies let you get away with is, like, dry brushing and washing and calling it a fucking day. Which I am 100% in favor of.
But I like the angled gun. Oh my god.
Well, it's still angled, it's just not that angle. It is all about the angle of the dangle. I'm seriously considering for the next year of my painting, just saying, like, if it's not something that I can just, like, base wash, dry brush, I'm not gonna paint it. Like, I kind of want to take a year and do nothing but that, because I keep saying crazy shit about how dry brushing has a really high skill ceiling, and I don't think I've really proven it. It's now horizontal. It's, you know, everything is relative. This part is angled. Oh, Happy Heretic, what a wonderful piece of bullshit. Oh, I made that too big. Here, let's make you 1.5. Let's see how this works. Give ourselves a midpoint coming out to about 0.5. Then we're going to come out like there, and then we're going to come out like there, and then we're going to mirror this. Okily dokily. Now we're going to go ahead and make a new object. 4 thick is probably good. Now let's grab it and rotatally-adle it on this axis. And probably bring it down. So it's sticking up about like that. Is my thinking. Now let's do something real wacky. Distance type spacing. Like so, so it's got a little distance between them. Path direction. Oof, that gets a little rough. That's kind of more what I'm thinking. How much do I like that? The ones on the back also point upward, but then it doesn't have this lovely continuous thing going on. I think what I actually need to do is make this deeper. More curvature. You violate the don't point down rule. Shit. He's right, though.
You know, I suppose you could just go ahead and glorb that paint on anywhere. It's not like we're trying to get inside the lines or anything.
Maybe this can work. Because that is actually a good point. Let's use extent this time. That way I can determine where I want the last one. It's venting forward, but who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Oh, I like them the other way! I guess I probably just shouldn't have them going down the back. I thought crossing the angle would be cool, but it just introduces too many complications. It should just be in a straight line along the top. I don't know, it vents heat or something. Who the hell even knows? I think that probably will work for this detail. The ones on top point up and back, and the ones on the back point up and back. Oh, then it's gonna have this weird point where they're like pointing into each other. Seems wrong. I mean, I'll try it, because I can just use an identical orientation without having to really do anything. Let's try it. I'll try it. I don't have high hopes, but basically what you're talking about is this. I guess that works. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, fine. I'm okay with it. Go ahead and join all this up so I can stop messing with it. And I don't really think I need to add any more detail to this PPC. I think it is bombastic enough as it is. Alright. PPC just out in the open like this, I'm kind of tempted to do. I don't really feel like putting a shroud over it is super necessary. This is a really small piece for Gadarung. It really does not need them. Like, I mean, remember, our total length here is 6 millimeters. It's really unnecessary. Like, nobody's... Here's the thing. You're never going to see this. This is going to point towards the table. Shroud your PPC in polite company. I do like to be a good host. Well, you're just going to be horribly aware that there's nothing down here, then. Oh my god, you guys are the worst. Fine, you know what? Fucking, you... Just one little panel line. It's just one little panel line. Just do a little panel line, Thunderhead, and it's just one. Go. Oh my god, the 3D sketch went out of control. Excuse me. See if we can get away with split face. Keep it simple. Nope, I gotta do this if I want to do that. Split face doesn't like multiple sketches. But it is a cleaner operation if I can get away with it. It's just kind of fiddly. There we go. Oops. think I noticed you weren't a part of the gang. Oh, that's a little bit of a lie, oh Coral. That's actually a piece of terrain that I'm printing for someone local, in between prototyping, excuse me, my Revelations pieces. Every single time I paint this panel line, I'm going to think of you and I'm going to get angry. Duicom, this is literally the minimum distance for you to be able to see this in a print. Trust me, I've tested these tolerances. This thing's kind of ridiculous. I like it. It's a little extreme. It's got some big energy cells on it. It's got plenty of heat venting though, which is kind of what I assume something like a double PPC would need. I like it. I got my RoboCop on here. I didn't put my RoboCop on this overlay, which is terribly sad. Well, they're visually distinct from all the other energy turrets. Which is kind of what I wanted. No, Sumitha. They are intended to just be a series of redundant sensor blisters, since it's an automated or at least remote operated turret. But, you know, you're the painter. You can make him spotlights if you wanna. You only say that because he's flipping you off, Wiley Cliff. If we pipe the heat from the turret through the base, we can have 2 more PPCs. The tower unfolds. It's just PPCs all the way down. And then a stripper pops out and she's holding an even smaller PPC. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Now I gotta build some plasma rifles. Oh, I do love this Thunderbolt so much. This is one of my favorites from Dougram. It just has so many good curves on it. I'm still not entirely sure how I built the geometry for its torso, but it worked eventually. Oh, excuse me. Alright. What do MCC's plasma rifles look like? I genuinely have no idea. Oh, printer's done. I'm gonna give that a minute and then switch it out for another one. I need to redo my Thunderbolts. It's some of the worst files I've produced. They're like 30 gigabytes. Or not 30 gigabytes, 30 megabytes. And there's no reason they should be that large. It should be like 2 or 3. And then I managed to corrupt all my posing files, so I just have to repose that one entirely. I only have 2 poses. Which one of his... The Oryx has plasma rifles, doesn't it? What are they? Hang on. Oh, there's this handy long list of things here. Heavy particle cannons, Gauss rifles, flat cannons, rotary cannons, cannons, more cannons than Charles Bronson. Plasma cannon, 2L flare-up pack. Oh, that is actually kind of similar to what I was thinking, as far as being square. Not exactly, but kind of similar in that I was thinking of having them be like a square front. Great minds and all that. Yeah, kind of similar-ish as far as identifying it by the front shape, like that. Alright, I need... to move these into here. And get rid of this. And now that can go away. And we'll just kind of start with the front. I'll start with the details I know I want to put into it, and then we can kind of modify it from there. Oh my god! What in the flying fuck? Art of Bianca. Art of Bianca, you absolute madwoman. Holy hell. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Bianca. How are you doing today? How was your stream? I hope productive. I always hope productive, because I hope my streams will be productive, even though they rarely are. What'd you wind up working on tonight? I never finished anything. Oh god, that is... Ooh, that is... It's a little too real for me. I'm not gonna lie. I am the king of 90%. Oh, lordy lord. Well, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome to Thunderhead Studio. We're doing a little 3D design for Battletech tonight. Nothing too exciting, just coming up with my own idea of what a Battletech plasma rifle would look like. This is pulling ideas out of my ass, really. I mean, you know how it goes. What were you working on tonight, Bianca? Of course, don't feel obliged to stick around. You've been streaming. You probably need to stretch your legs. Grab a snack. Drink some water. Do what you've got to do. What am I doing? Anyway, I'm forgetting. There we go. Lids Widget, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. Painted a puppy with a flower hat. Holy shit. That's... Bianca, I don't suppose you feel like tossing a little something in the Storm Report so we could all enjoy it a little bit later when we're doing our art review. I do always love to see what people have been working on their streams. Lengthen that in the front, give it a little bulk in the back. Not too much, just enough to make it printable. Dogs for Life 22, thank you also for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am. Cut this bad boy in half. And Tamins, who's as productive as they want to be? Liars. That's who. I just don't believe them. It's like people on Instagram that seem to have a perfect life. I'm like, yeah, but they're up to something nefarious. I just don't believe them. It's dinner time. Have a fantastic dinner. I will do what I can. I will do what I can, Bianca. There's only so much wrangling I can do over the degenerates of Twitch, but you know, we got to just keep pushing that boulder up that hill. It may be a Sisyphean task, but that's kind of how I roll anyway. Bianca, thank you so much for the raid. I'm glad to hear that you had a great stream. Please enjoy your dinner. Alright, this is a decent start. I'm thinking a detail back here. 2 failed DoorDash orders. Oh my god. Did they just tell you no, we're not bringing you food? Twice? Because that's awful. Alright, how much can I fit in here is the question. .2 by 1.2, that's not bad. There we go. That's better. Bring it out a little bit. Angle it in. 15 degrees ain't bad. That'll give me some space. Make that its own body. How much room do I have to work with here? If I give it a 0.13... Ugh, not a lot! That's not a lot of room. I'll probably just leave it. I'm getting too fine with the detail. There we go. Now we just need to do some simple cut-ins. Oh, Merlin, thank you very much for the reminder. How you doing today, Merlin? Ah, wonderful to see you. I still can't get over how good, how incredibly good that itty bitty little stompa you're working on looks, man. That's unbelievable. Wiley Cliff, I'm working in Fusion 360. I'd say 90% of the time I'm working in Fusion 360. Working on it again today. Ooh, how how much more is there to do? Even the non-metallic metal reads really well on that, man. I might want to reverse this. Be the easiest way to do that. Drop this in 0.3 and then give it a chamfer going out. It's a magnetic thingamabobler doodly. You know the type. Well, hurry back, Automat. I don't know how much of this I can do without you here. Target painter, there we go. There's gonna be 4 of them, so it's gonna paint 4 targets, and we're just gonna live with it. Go ahead and create my reference planes, because I'm going to be sorry if I don't. Well, let's do it in the most awkward way possible. How about that? Does that sound like a plan? Good. Really, on the laptop? Usually, most people have trouble with Twitch mobile. Horizontal, PR vertical. Now I can use those. Specifically, like so. Go away. Go away. Merge. That's all done. Holy moly. Steve 3000, the previous 2,999 just were not good enough, but it seems like we finally perfected the process. Steve, welcome in. I assume it's Steve. It might not be Steve. Thank you so much for the follow. Alright, this is my barrel shroud assembly that I'm thinking of here. Oh, Wily Cliff, it's really not bad. Fusion 360's, once you get the like so many other pieces of software that aren't really designed for this particular task, you just have to apply the 80-20 principle. 80% of users are going to use 20% of features, so you got to figure out the 20% of features that you're going to use, and I'll tell you, chief among them are functions like mirror and chamfer. You're going to use those a lot. Learn how to use draft, learn how to use patterning, learn how to make good sketches, learn how to do T-spline modification. You can make some pretty cool stuff. Chugga, 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 chugga. Bring that down 0.5. Yeah, Wily Cliff, there is, like, the hobbyist version of this is free. It gives you access to most of the modeling features. Now, what it is gonna do is it will limit the number of projects that you can have open. Everything from Autodesk works on a cloud, which some people like, some people hate. I actually kind of like it because I can access all of my files from wherever I am. But what that's going to limit you to is a certain number of active projects at any given time. I pay for it so I can have as many projects as I want, but like if I come out, like each one of these, as I go in here, let's just dig into, like even in Battletech I have a ton of projects. What you're going to have to do is learn how to make old projects inactive and sort of get the most out of any individual project space. So it limits how many things you can work on at once. But honestly, like so many of my old projects are effectively archived. It's like work on it until you're done with it, pull all the files out of it, archive the project, move on to the next one. And I think you can have as many archived projects as you want. It's just however many active projects you can have. But other than that, in the hobby version, everything else is pretty much free. Everything that isn't paid for, like, see this little button up here that says automate, automated modeling? Like, this is something they want me to pay extra for right now because Fusion can do crazy things with generative design where you, like, give it a few mechanical parts and, like, if you look at the picture there, you can see it. It's like, here's the mechanical parts, they need to be linked. Go! And it just does the generation for you. It's actually really cool, but it's not necessarily anything you're ever going to need to use. Like, I don't need to use it. They just keep trying to sell it to me. Irish John Games, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. There's also a student version of Fusion, and there is a startup version of Fusion. Technically, I'm still on the startup license. I'm going to have to pay for my first full year of Fusion in about 3 months. I've been using it for 3 years without paying a cent and making money off of it, and the only thing that I had to do was tell them that if they want me to, I'll like type up a blurb about starting a business using their software. And I really just don't mind. Careful, careful, Wiley Cliff, you'll go blind. Found some incredibly 90s flock grass by Hornby. Gonna go great with my Stompa. Find yourself some of that goblin green to go with. Yeah. Got an alert about this earlier today. Army Painter is having a sale on Amazon. The large speed paint set is $20 off. That's a fucking good deal. I really do like the speed paints. I really, really do. For a newbie painter, they're a wonderful place to get started. Extend this out a little bit. Let me decide how far I want this thing to stick out. I've got some space to work with, so why don't we bring it out further? Just over the edge of the hex will do. Fine by me. 3 millimeters? Cool, I can work with that. Damn it. Quit selecting faces. Check out the Dippin' Inks. They may be better. Wait, the ones from Army Painter? They released those a long time ago, and I tried them, and I did not like them. They're like floor polish. I don't know, they're pretty aggressive for me. What's up, O'Coral? What you got? So, that's something that Alex and I are actually working on right now, is getting some things available in Cyocast, specifically, which uses an injection molding system. There will be more news on that in the near future. It's not something that I want to... What am I looking at here? Oh, I see. Okay. It's something that we are currently working on, as I said. I'm loath to give details because it's kind of up in the air at the moment. You just found that out, did you, Mafik? Oh, God. Yes. Yeah, that's been a thing for a while. Gonna be magnetization compatible. So, this is something that I talked with Alex about quite a lot to decide how to do this, because I could run myself into the ground trying to make it so that you could magnetize each weapon and swap it in and out and do magnets this, that, and the other thing. And what we opted for was no. Each turret configuration is just a single solid piece, and then they go down into their bases with a peg. There are many opportunities for things we could do with magnets. Again, we just opted to keep this pack simpler. One of the reasons being we do want to get these done in Cyocast. And in order to get that done economically, we don't want there to be too many fiddly parts. Do I know how much a mold costs to make? That depends, O'Coral. But we are looking at an initial run of 4 packs of mechs with a startup cost of around $1,000. And we're kind of talking about how much we want to go in for. When we have more information, I'm going to be probably coming to you guys. We might be looking to kind of crowdfund the initial effort just to sort of see how it goes and see how much people are really interested. Go. And up front. Like so. How do I want to do this? I want to drop that in even more. I can just match it up. There's no reason to overthink it. Peg that goes through the center will allow the weapons to rotate up and down. This is again something that we went over Dragon Printer and ultimately decided that it's such a very, very limited amount of functionality. It's such just a minor feature. And it's kind of better to go for something that is just more durable and less fiddly. Tiny little fiddly parts like that get, they get tricky. And I didn't want to overdo this initial pack. I left that in the realm of, like, if enough people want it, we can do that later. You know what I mean? Oh, well, thank you so much for saying so, Panda God. Panda God Desu. We're making murderous space guns, by the way. Believe me, I asked myself all these questions because I love features like that. It's just... What are you really getting from it? You know? That makes it worth all the extra design space and this is one of the first things, if I'm being honest, that I'm making with it being a product in mind more than just being a toy for me to play with. Like, it's both. But I'm trying to be a little bit more economical in this design. Nope, that's the wrong command. Well, you know, technically everything's in space. Why? Why would you think that's what I want to do? There we go. Technically, even everything on Earth is in space. I mean, you know, accurate. You're not wrong, Dwegcom, but there's another consideration, which is that these are going to be very, very small. Like, real size is like this big, and you're going to be looking at them on average from 3 feet away, and that tiny little downward tilt will make approximately 0 difference. This is something that you absolutely have to keep in mind when you're working a 6mm scale, is your final product is going to be about this big. And I'm the kind of gamer who I've gone through a lot of effort in the past with my modeling to do things like make working hinges and depressible guns, and oh, I'm going to turn my tank to aim it at its target. And when I'm playing a game, you know how often I actually do that? It's very rare. Well, that's not my fault, Sumaboo. It's actually a t-shirt can. Yes, precisely. Hey man, t-shirt cannons can hurt. You ever been hit by one of them shits? Nope, won't do that. There we go. It's funny, just the other day, you know what I was thinking about? Is I do need to take a run at doing the thermal suits for my Bigfoot / Battlemaster. Like, I do unironically want to make a few that are wearing those thermal suits, even knowing that everyone's going to paint them up as like Adidas tracksuits. Like, I'm aware they're going to do it. I can't control other people, I can only control myself. And even then, that's kind of iffy. See, like, here's a consideration that might not be immediately obvious when you're doing 3D printing. And it's gonna, you know, like, I might not need to say it. It might be also painfully obvious, but see, this little void space is gonna be generated because there's gonna be another one of these over here. We just want to fill that in. We don't want there to be any void space in the file. So I'm gonna make this goofy little rectangle in here that is gonna fill that up. Panda God! Panda Godesu. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. Take care of those void spaces while you're doing your design work, and you don't have to worry about them later. Can one look like a Hawaiian shirt? That is entirely up to you. That is entirely up to you. There's a thought. What if I did that? How would I do that? I guess I would do it like this. Here to here, and then up. Split. From the top. Centered out to here. Split. Rejoin this, this, and this. And then drop this in. Mel? Okay. All matches up nicely. Could probably actually bring this in a little bit more. Oh, do you paint, Panda? What do you paint, out of curiosity? What's your game? What are your games? Or are you just more of a paint for the fun of it? Okay. If I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna go ahead and probably don't need to do this now, but in fact I know I don't need to do it now. Why don't I wait a second? And because I don't want this interfering with anything, I'm going to combine these four into one object, because I'm very, very confident that I'm going to keep them in this arrangement. But I don't need them actually beneath this. So let's remove that portion. Oh, well, that's silly. Let's fix that. I don't know why I didn't copy that properly, but now we'll join these up. Oh, sewer creature, you caught me slouching and a little dehydrated. Thank you very much. A little flap on the butt and then put like rocket ships on it. I wouldn't even be mad. 40k Age of Sigmar Malifaux, really? I don't meet that many Malifaux players. I like Malifaux. Malifaux is one of the few relatively popular games of the last few years that has sort of dared to do something genuinely new. With it's card draw instead of roll system. I really think that's very cool. I've only played a few games. I got my ass handed to me so hard. It was kind of ridiculous, but I did enjoy it. But as we've established, I have a mild fetish for humiliation, so I guess that makes sense. You paint on commission. Well, tell you what, Panda God, we do a little thing. We do a little thing on this stream called The Storm Report. For anyone who is unaware, we have an art share segment at the end of every single stream we do around here. And I'd love to see some of your work if you felt like sharing it with us. It's super easy to participate in if you would like to. All you have to do is hop on into the Thunderhead Studio Discord. Go into the channel marked The Storm Report and post a picture for us to take a look at. Towards the end of the stream, you can access it right there, hitting !Discord in chat, or there should be a button kind of down around, kind of where I'm pointing, I think. And, yeah. We'll take a few minutes at the end of the stream and we look at everything in there and sort of follow what everybody in the community is up to. If you'd like some advice, we're happy to give it. If you'd just like to show off, we are happy to be a platform for that. I am a firm believer that everybody needs to share their work. Not just yet. Not just yet. I'm gonna be doing a sacrificial rat probably next week, sewer creature, and then we can continue on that. Like that. Give us a little chamfer here. And here. We do a lot of painting on the stream, for that matter. I kind of divide up, whatever I'm doing on the stream tends to just be whatever it is that I need to do at any given time. But, a lot of the time we're doing painting. Well, I'll get to a sacrificial rat sooner rather than later, sewer creatures, so that we can nail down the rest of it, because I really do like the ideas that you came up with. Chop, chop, chop. Go ahead and mirror this top to bottom and also side to side. Actually, before I do that, let me do one little detail here. Make a quick pattern, just one. All right, then all of this will lead into the primary body. I mean, do feel free to go ahead and link your Instagram for folk. I do encourage you to go ahead and post something to the Storm Report, because that is how we are able to show things off on the stream itself. Alright, so ignoring the fact that the main body of it literally hasn't been done, and this is probably going to have ammo feed or tanks or something on it, this is sort of the main barrel assembly. And if I take this, well, let's just give it a quick mirror so we can visualize. This is kind of what I'm thinking for the plasma rifles. Give it a little color. What platform am I using for this? Did vehicle and scenery modeling for Trains Rail Simulator and submitted them for free on the forum sites. Use Gmax and GIMP because it was free. GIMP is a wonderful piece of software that I use for most of my photo editing. This particular piece of software that I'm using here is Fusion 360, which is primarily intended for engineering, which kind of works great for 3D printing because I can keep my tolerances really, really precise. Yeah, a couple of vertical details toward the back are what's really going to help this, I think. Wiley Cliff, every time this song comes on, like in my head, when it starts up with a do-do-do-do-do-do, I'm just like, oh my god, yeah. A modern day warrior, mean. No, we're not doing it, but my brain wants to. You can't make me. How do we feel about this, though, for plasma rifles? Yeah, that is my 3D printer, which I actually need to do something with right now. Though his mind is not for rent, but write him off as Eric. No, fuck, no! These are some files that I am printing for a local BattleTech player who just needs some quick terrain. It was designed by a goddamn madman. Is that even gonna print? Jesus. Why do people do this? This is horrible. I'm not printing that. I'll print something else. Sure, yeah, that'll print. Slicey, slicey, slice. Can you go wrong with old No, I mean, not really, no. Yeah, it's, that thing, like, what drives me crazy about shit like that is, it's like, if you know anything about 3D printing, it's so easy to make the same thing, but not wrong. These are the files the guy wanted. Whatever. But I'm not gonna print that one. I'll just print 2 of the other one. This is bullshit. 3 hours, 46 minutes, not bad. Alright, give me just a second. I'm gonna get up, stretch my legs, get a little bit more water, start this bad boy printing, and I'll be right back. Pardon the delay, folks. Had to go over and fire up the Traeger smoker. I realized I had actually kind of lost the little pigtail that plugs it into the wall, so I had to search through some drawers for that real quick. Are they the dudes in the coats with the little glowing saws and the big robot cyborg guy? Let me see. Talking about not necessarily this picture, but hold on a second. Why is this so small? Probably this picture? Oh my god, it's Riot Sister. How could I be so remiss?
Hello there.
Hi, Riot Sister. It's good to see you. These are Warcaster, yes. These are my Eternus Continuum models for Warcaster. Do I have a video? Oh yeah, I did one of these. Ain't it cool? Look at him. Look at him rotating. So, some metal and a lot of resin. The initial run is more metal, like this guy is almost entirely metal. But like this guy is mostly resin with a couple of metal parts. The infantry is almost entirely metal, this guy's metal. Yeah, it's an unfortunate amount of metal. I just really like the sculpts and the gameplay is fantastic. These little rifts, these little summoning gates that you use to bring your forces onto the field, these are actually my sculpts. I made these, so these are 3D printed resin. I'm still really happy with how these came out. Also made those entirely in Fusion, even the organic details. Yeah, I do have a lot of vertical details. I think some horizontal details back here are going to do us well, Verg. Midrava. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. Yeah, here's the thing, Dwegham. Warcaster is a fantastic game. And Privateer Press is currently switching to all 3D printed resin. I wish I had an easier time recommending the game. But I am very, very concerned about the recent moves on Privateer Press's part for their new production methods. They haven't been doing a great job with it. It sucks because Warcaster is a fantastic rule set with some really cool designs in it. But yeah, it's a lot of metal. It's a lot of metal models. And some big resin ones. The latest Kickstarter were mostly resin, which is really, really nice. But now they're moving to all 3D printed stuff, and like I said, I have my concerns about that. Oh, is that so? You know, these days I am pretty regularly on the lookout for good concept artists. If you really would, if that's something that you're doing, Midrava, and you've got a good handle on doing, like, environmental design, honestly, hit me up on Discord. I wouldn't mind talking about that. Where are you going, my feet? Get back in here. I'm thinking of something wacky. Thinking of something wacky. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. What program do you slice in for the Neptune? So, I do all my supporting in Lychee, and then I do my slicing in Chidubox. Oh, Neptune. I don't know why I thought you said Mars. They're all planets. Elegoo's fucking me around like that. I don't think I use Elegoo Kira. I just use standard Kira. Yeah, just your standard Ultimaker Kira. I've been using the same basic Kira software, and have never really had any major issues with it. Elegoo's little proprietary version of Kira, I can't really speak to the quality of. What kind of issues has it been giving you, out of curiosity? What do you mean it isn't centered? You mean forward to back? You can't have everything be centered and symmetrical, Riot Sister. It doesn't work. It doesn't look good. Well, that's what's happening as I'm eating paper. I mean, come on. Obviously. Excuse me. I'm gonna choke on apple skin. Oh, God. You kidding me? It's extremely toxic. Well, thank you. Riot Sister, thank you very much. No, you don't want to do that. I'm trying to be nice with you. And you're being a pain in my ass. What the fuck? Okay. We'll do this the janky way, since you don't want to play nice. There we go. Oh, I appreciate that, Riot Sister. I like it when people are nice to me. And thank you for the reminder, Riot Sister. For anyone who is looking to get in their entries for the Storm Report tonight, make sure you do it soon. Why would you do that? Okay, there we go. Now for some picking and clicking. Right, like this is our axis. And of course I didn't combine you, but that's fine because I can just mirror you. It's important, again, Dwigcom, to remember that this is very, very small. And more divots could quickly result in something that is unprintable / unusable. This is going to be our little ammunition box, kind of hanging off the side. With a little ammo feed. I'm kind of liking in the back for Gataro. Because this I really view as almost entirely just barrel, as sort of, you know, unnecessary as that probably is on the plasma rifle assembly, and then this is your, where various plasmogrification takes place back here. Which is a very, very scientific word. I don't expect everyone to know it. Two spinny bits, you say? Well, see, I really like I like this middle section here. Because in my head, I feel like you could do a little glow effect on these cut-ins. It's a heat-based weapon, after all. Or at least a very high heat weapon. And I made these large enough for that, kind of specifically. In fact, you know what's not a bad idea? Just ease those corners out on the internals. If you understood what I meant, it is a word. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. These out. I don't know exactly what's going to go on the very, very back yet. Some kind of cap piece, maybe. Plasmogrification. Yeah, that's yeah, definitely, absolutely, without question. Trying to get as much done as I can in the next 7 minutes. No, not that. Jerk. Those. Thank you kindly. Cut in here. Bring this up a little bit. So in my head, it's feeding ammunition into a chamber down here. Get the fuck out of here, Avast. It's feeding ammunition into a chamber down here, and then this device is spinning and energizing and doing something or other, and then generating the shot, which then travels down these magnetic acceleration ladders and is projected out of the end in a torrent of fiery doom. Which I think I'm going to go ahead and fill it that. Just a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. Minor, but I like it. Out. Oh, just sewer creature. Seems apropos, doesn't it? I admit I'm pretty mystified by the whole Morbius event. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do for the very back of it yet, but... And obviously, like, this in here is unfinished. But what we should do is go ahead and establish a basic component for everything on one side. So damn close to being done with this thing. And, you know, after this, I can use this plasma rifle on other things, I suppose. Let's make a quick mirror and do a little visualization. Bearing in mind that the rear of it is incomplete. Why, welcome back, Exploding Turducken. I like how they're kind of equal front and back. Like they almost pivot nearly in the middle. In the Middle Ages, carrots were white or purple. Through selective breeding, we made them orange. It makes sense, like most other tubers kind of had that coloration to them. I mean, we did that to a lot. Like, if you went back to the Middle Ages and tried an orange, you wouldn't recognize it. They were awful little bitter things that they mostly just like dried out and studded with cloves to try and ward off the plague because they thought that if something smelled nice, it wouldn't get you sick. All in all, it's amazing that we're alive. What do we think? Opinions are welcome for our construction of the plasma rifle for these Battletech turrets. Oh, okay, yeah, root vegetable, not tuber. Oh, thank you, Riot Sister. Still needs a little something to balance it out on the back, but not much. Let's visit with the other energy weapons real quick. So we can get a look at the whole energy pack, if you will. Why is that still showing all those? Oh, that's why. Because I'm a dum-dum. This would be the full energy weapons turret pack here. With the plasma rifle as yet unfinished. Stop trying to render fucking Thunderbolt. Oh, excuse me. Oh, thank you very much for the reminder, Turducken. Absolutely not, Sumitha. Will never be seen again. Give us time, Gato. Give us time. Oh, fine. I do have a terrible tendency to curve over like that. You are a bit of a madman, Sumitha. Bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna finish eating my apple. When I finish this apple, the storm report will start. That is the mark. The hate cannon. It's such a... It wasn't my intention for the PPC to actually fit as neatly into the laser arrangement as it does there. That's fucking stupid. The hate cannon. 8 lasers and 2 PPCs. Yeah, somebody's gonna hate it. It really does fit oddly well. Oh my god. Loptoons! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Storm Chasers. The plasma rifle's working for me. Well, here's the thing. If you genuinely want the hate cannon, it is as easy as just overlapping the 2 files and saving them, and it will do exactly this. I can't bring myself to make it a standard arrangement. I'm not that cruel. And 2 ACs over and missiles? Yeah, why not? Just toss a little bit of everything in there. Oh, fuck. I just bit the inside of my lip. Owie. I'm gonna hurt. I bit it hard, too. I hate it when I do that. Like, right on the inside, like right here. Oh, fuck. That's gonna bother me. This should round out the, This should round out the whole set nicely, though. Make that go away and get a look at just the PPCs. The thing I really wanted to do with these was make sure that each and every one of them is visually distinct at a glance, at a distance, so that at no point is anybody squinting at the table going, what turret is that?
What weapon do you have on that turret?
Everything looks different. They have different shapes, different arrangements, so that you can, like, you're not going to confuse the PPC for the plasma rifle, for instance. The lasers have good lenses for painting. The PPC has that good central nub for doing a glow effect on. The plasma rifle has some good insets for doing an OSL heat glow if that's what you want to do. The heat cannon is the hate cannon is our secret. The hate cannon is like when you go to In-N-Out and order something animal style, except more secret than that. I mean, that wouldn't really be that terribly difficult to do. Let me get the basic pack out, Sumitha, and then if you want customs, we'll talk. I can... Because interchanging these different parts is not that difficult for me to do since I, you know, made them all. And I opted not to go with the shrouding on the really big weapons. I think the shrouding on the lasers works. When you finish up the plasma rifle, then I'll have 12 turrets to unleash on people. I'll let Alex run with that. Next month, I'll hit him with a supplementary turret pack with the Thumper, Arrow 4, and anti-personnel turrets. Oh, she did. Oh, you said the thing? This is my favorite button. How is that movie so stupid and yet so much fun? Like, I fully acknowledge that The Chronicles of Riddick is a dumb fucking movie. But I enjoy it so much. Well, this is just the energy pack that I'm showing here. You can throw some autocannons in there if you want. I almost don't, like, Vergata Rum, I have a hard time considering The Chronicles of Riddick the second one, because it's so completely different from Pitch Black. Pitch Black is a great movie, completely by itself, connected to nothing. Pitch Black is a wonderful movie. And then Chronicles of Riddick, like, Riddick is the strangest thing about the movie. Everything else in the movie is more interesting than he is. Vaco is more interesting, the Lord Marshal is more interesting, the Mercs are more interesting, Crematoria is more interesting, the Elementals are more interesting, and then there's Riddick, and he's like, I got a knife. I like to stab people. I'm the hero of the universe. Like, what the fuck? It's so weird. It's so weird. The Necromongers are so fucking cool. Everything about them is fascinating. And then Riddick's just like, I was born behind a convenience store. That's not... I'll tell you, Kursala, that is the one thing. Not that line, but that character is the one thing about the Necromongers that kind of throws me off. And it, like, I love Tandy Newton, don't get me wrong. She's great. But her character doesn't make any sense to me. Why would a Necromonger have a wife? They literally refer to non-Necromongers as breeders. They do not breed, and apparently no one else has a wife. But Vako has a wife? It seems like that would be ideologically incompatible with their belief system. You can say that. You can say that, Dwegham. I think that David Toohey is just a big fucking numbskull who had like 3 good ideas in his entire life. On the necro pill. This is the thing, like, if I were writing the Necromongers, why don't you make the turret base one piece, just make it so the guns are interchangeable. We've been over this. it's easier this way. If I were the one writing the Necromongers, I wouldn't have written in a wife, or that the Necromongers even engage in sexual activity at all. They're supposed to be kind of inhuman and removed from the concerns of the flesh, to the point that they're actively seeking their own deaths. When you look around the necropolis, like, the visual design for the Necromongers is one of my favorite things in that movie, and when you look around the necropolis, they have lots of statuary, and it's always of, like, masculine male figures, and they're all, like, they've got big ones that are supporting the roof of the necropolis, like Atlas, and there's a lot of smaller ones down on the floor. There's some of their previous lords martial, but there are a lot of them that are just male statuary, and they have exposed musculature, and they're always contorted in like some horrible, uncomfortable posture, and some of them have like weapons that they're stabbing into their own necks, or their fingers are digging into their flesh and ripping it off of their chests. Like, they're all in a state of self-destructive agony. And it's so, it seems like that is the general motif of the Necromonger. And then if you introduce to that, yeah, but sometimes we bang, I'm like, you're kind of missing something there, aren't you? Like, that should be their whole life, is that suffering that they seek to spread to literally everyone. Now, Subatha, you're talking about it from a story writing perspective. And yes, you're right. Vako needed a devil on the shoulder, because Vako is a blunt instrument who wasn't really particularly ambitious. And he got manipulated and pushed over the course of the story. But there had to have been a better way to do that. Because she's just like, she's the one piece that doesn't seem to fit for me. Well, they do. I'll give them that in the one, like, pseudo-sex scene that they have between Karl Urban and Tandy Newton, they, like, beat the shit out of each other. And it's pretty great. I think that might just be in the extended edition. But, like, he straight up just, like, backhands her across the face, and then she just starts getting all into it, and then they're, like, knocking shit around and tackling each other into walls. And I'm like, okay. But that's a minor complaint. There are things that you should complain about in that movie way before you get to that point. Like Vin Diesel being in it at all. He's so incongruous. Actually, Vin Diesel's fine. I have a bigger problem with the chick, with what they do to the character of Jack from Pitch Black. She's all like super feminine and edgy, and she's like, my name's Kira now, and I'm a new animal. And I'm just like, oh, everything about you is cringe. Everything about you is cringe. It is painful to watch that particular character, and she's not a bad actress. I think one of the only things I've seen her in for an extended period of time was The Man in the High Castle, and she was great in that show. But her writing for the Chronicles of Riddick was so bad. I really like Toombs. The merc who brought him in, I thought Toombs was a lot of fun, because he's just kind of an asshole. There was nothing really special about him. Oh my god, it is time. It is time. It's past time. Fine. I guess we'll do the thing. Still, we got a lot of good work done tonight. I'm digging the look of the plasma rifles. I think they're good and distinct. There are too many turrets out there that all look like the same damn thing over and over. Oh yeah, Sumitha, like when... Oh, I just saved. Like when, when they've got him all strung up and they're negotiating over the price, and he just, like, looks up at him and he's like, you should take the money, Toombs. And then when he locks him into the cage, and Toombs just like, I should have taken the damn money. You know, you're supposed to be some slick shit killer. Look at you now. All back of the bus and shit. That actor's a lot of fun. And I will say one of the coolest details in that entire movie, and I'll do the Storm Report after I talk about this one detail. It's the shot where Riddick is running, and there's a Necromonger troop ship coming after him, and they have a really cool deployment method where they just kind of shoot out of the bottom. And it's just this brief shot. It's so quick you could totally miss it. But Toombs shows up with a rocket launcher, and he shoots the troop ship as it's flying at him. And the troop ship nosedives and cartwheels over the top of Riddick in this over-the-top action sequence. But as the troop ship cartwheels over him and you see the top, it's like a sarcophagus lid. There's an effigy of a knight on top of it with a sword across his chest and just with a very stoic look on his face. I just love everything about, like, the artists that they hired to do the Necromonger aesthetic achieved something fucking amazing that was in no way... Like, it was so much better than the writing of the movie deserved. It's kind of ridiculous. The internal work on the Necropolis, the way when the Lord Marshal comes out of his ship and starts to march down the promenade towards his victory, the ships that are parked on either side, the Necromonger troop ships that have landed, like, their engine manifolds rotate and these faces appear on the ships, and then the ships bow to him. They literally, like, the faces on the ships move down and the engines reconfigure and the ships bow as he walks past. I'm like, that is so fucking hardcore. It's like, that is unfucking believable. And then Vin Diesel growls something about, I don't know, robbing people. You're like, whatever. Whatever. Let's get back to the Necromorphs. Necromongers. Necromorphs are something else entirely. Though I feel like they probably get along. To some degree. Happy Heretic, there's a theory that everything takes place in the early days of the 40k universe because 40k ripped off literally everybody. It growls about family. The Fast and the Riddick. I did say Necromorph. It was an accident. It was an accident. Oh god. Let's Storm Report it. Let's do that. Does that sound like a plan to you?
Alright, locusts and gentlemechs, get ready to feast your eyes on glor paint and wet palates with the occasional culinary atrocity thrown in on tonight's Storm Report, brought to you by viewers like you.
Oh no, where's my face? I don't have a face. Oh god, oh, wait, there it is. Okay. We're doing okay now. It's alright. Necromorphs would be problematic for the Necro... Yeah, like, I don't know how the Necromongers would deal with the existence of Necromorphs. I don't think they actually... Like, they wouldn't view them as, like, saviors or divine or anything because they're still alive. They repurpose dead tissue, but they're still alive, and Necromongers want everything to be dead. Like, cold, dead, done, not moving. And the Brethren Moons are alive, so the Necromongers would just go apeshit trying to kill them. And might succeed. What would happen if you took one of those huge fucking planet-destroying monoliths and just, like, rammed it up a Brethren Moon's fucking asshole? What would it do? It seems like that could probably do some damage, and they had an armada of like 30 of those things. I think we need to write some fanfic. I think that's ultimately what I'm getting at. Why is this up? Make that go away. This should be up. There we go. Much better. Alright, alright. Let me see what we got here. Up first from Mafik. When the cultists leave the cave, I managed to turn back to normal, but the transformation left some marks. At least I have other eyes. Better than nothing. Yeah, you know, honey, you got real ugly. The extra hands seem useful, though. The, like, floating remote control flying fists. I'm into that. That is a big Atlas. He's given it a pretty sweet, looks like Steiner paint job. If I had 4 hands, do you know how much model painting I could do? A lot. The answer is a lot. Chronicles of Riddick is too realistic and grounded for Warhammer. Oh, God. Hey, it has a flared base sewer creature. It would be fine. Can't see chat. Why is chat box not working? That's odd. Hang on. Oh, I know why. There we go. All fixed. This is the beginning. This is the beginning, Wiley Club. I've been dicking around for like 20 minutes. So we're still right at the beginning. It's an action figure Atlas he bought from the store somewhere in the inner sphere. Oh, this is like diegetic. This is in-universe toys. I guess that makes sense. They probably would have toys of Atlases. Atlases. We're still kind of kludging this together, so pardon me. I do want the art to show in its full glory. You get a little glimpse of my desktop in the background while we're at it. I love that through all the eldritch horror, through all the dark machinations, through all the cultism, he still has his action figures and his paintbrushes. Arden has his priorities straight. I like it. I like it, Mafik. Up next, we have from DFW Dweghom trying out a Beskar paint scheme for the upcoming Mando model. Why don't I go ahead and pull that up? Based with Vallejo metallic color airbrush gunmetal gray, dry brush silver, highlight / dry brushed white aluminum is shown in the background. Cloth parts are AP Thunderstorm, topped with AP Speed Paint Grim Black. Guns are AP Cadre Gray, topped with AP Speed Paint Gravelord Gray. Belt is just primed Gray Sear with Nuln Oil over it. I like the metallics. The metallics look nice. I think you might have gone a little bit overboard with the undersuit. It all kind of blended together. The AP speed paints definitely work well over lighter undercoats, unless you're planning to come back in and dry brush that a little bit. But the strength of the AP speed paints is almost always going to be going over a light undercoat as opposed to a dark one. But the metallic parts read very, very nicely. I like that a lot. I might give them a little bit of a black wash just to get some down in the recesses, like at the base of the little Darth Maul-esque crown. Because, like, you see the shadow you have under the cheek on the Mando helmet? Something like that around each of these is really going to help those pop out more. Buy the premium package when you acquire a battle mech. It comes with a special display model for your desk at home. The in-universe possibilities are limitless for marketing. You know, it's true. In HBS Battletech, it was established. And when you go to do your paint scheme, in like your personal office on the dropship, there's like a fucking toy Atlas there that apparently you sit in there and paint. Way before you get an Atlas, even. Yeah, that's canon. Atli. Oh god, I guess that's plural. Ugh. How pedantic. I dig what you're doing with the metallics here. I dig it. Again, I would probably ease up a little bit on going with the dark base colors for the underfabric, because this all kind of blends together. And man, that work you were doing on that previous Mando was so fucking hot. Oof. These metallics read well, though. For, yeah, you're looking for the Beskar steel thing, and I guess when I look at this, I can sort of see the Jango Fett Bear Beskar look. I can dig it. I can dig it. I would want to see a few more of them together, and maybe any final touches that you want to do on this before I would judge it. It certainly reads well on the helmet. Alright, let's see. Let's see what we've got here. The last was just speed paints. You did an amazing job with that, though, man. That came out fantastic. Here we have from Sheza. This is for you, Chrissy. Oh my god, this is probably a reference to something I haven't seen. Is this a reference? Is this Stranger Things? Somebody tell me. I'm gonna guess Stranger Things. Just based on the context, I'm gonna say this is a reference to a Stranger Things season that I have not watched. Oh my god, the look on the face, though. This is all freehand work. It looks like. And this is awesome. Normaler stuff. Like, this is incredible. I'm digging the leather, I'm digging the denim coloration here. Overall good paint job. But the freehand work here on the t-shirt is fucking awesome. Sheza, this reads so well. Like, I would wear this t-shirt. I would wear this t-shirt and people would go, have you seen the latest season of Stranger Things? And I'd say, no, somebody painted a model that had this on it. That's what I'm referencing, is the model that was in the Storm Report. By the way, I'm a streamer. Would you consider stopping into my stream? Do you paint models? It would be an awkward conversation, probably. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. They're painting the Panther. Ooh, and is he still going? Is Parallax still going over there? I feel like he's probably stopping soon. Yeah, no, that's definitely freehand. If that's a decal, it's so well applied, I can't tell. This is wonderful work on the crazy little demon head. Just started 30 minutes ago? Oh, fuck yeah, we got time then. That's fantastic. Alright, let's see what else we got here from Squared. Finished up the blackjack. Just needs varnish. I do love this lensing job, and I love how much that blue stands out against the kind of yellow tan. Looks like he got a little bit more wash down in here to pull out the panel lines. That came out great. A little bit more coloration down here on the crackle paint, as suggested. I love the dirty foots. That reads really, really well. Looks like maybe some dark brown dry brushing across the shin. That is one battle-worn, sand-blasted blackjack Squared. Oh my god, Roland painted a Mech 2? Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. This is very exciting to me. Roland hasn't painted anything for a little bit, and I'm really glad to see him getting back to it. This is... Blue and orange is a color scheme that I really, really like. It's one of those up there with, like, red and green, where it's easy to have people go, oh, you're doing the Denver Broncos, or oh, you're doing, like, a Christmas elf. And it can be hard. It can be difficult to pull off without drawing those comparisons. You have to use the orange very, very sparingly, which was done here. I like how it's just sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4 square. Now, Roland, are you just going with silver for the cockpit? Or are we going to get one more color in here? Because I'll tell you, man, a splash of green right there in the middle on this cataphract, that would read wonderfully. That would be just fucking fantastic to kind of balance the whole color scheme out. I'm digging a good use of washes, man. I'll tell you, a light blue dry brush on some of these details before you do anything more would just help some of these details pop out. Just real light. I'm talking barely any. Just one little pass of a light blue dry brush. And then come in there and hit some green on that cockpit. That is a damn good looking cataphract. Here we have from Kursala. It's not Tuesday, and these ain't tacos, but they're here anyway. Well, that's a bunch of burritos. Oh, there's a big bowl of shredded beef. What is, there's a name for this. There's a name for this mix. Somebody help me out. I should know it. I lived in Texas for like 10 years. With the corn and the peas and the carrots and the shredded beef and maybe pork. What is the name for this mixture? I used to just order like containers of this down at the taco joint on the corner. Now I can't remember what it was called. Shit. Well, it's delicious anyway. That does look good. Man, I'm a sucker. I'm a real sucker for anything wrapped in a tortilla. It's chicken? Ooh, it looks delicious. That must be some marinated chicken. That looks fantastic. Juicy. You know what? The saving grace here? In the break that I took, I went over and I turned on the Traeger smoker, and the wife is over there smoking some fucking buffalo wings right now, and I'm so fucking ready for that. I am so ready for that, and I'm only gonna be more ready when we get a look at how smothered those burritos wound up. Oh my god. Whoa, with melty cheese. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh yeah, get in there. Get in there with that fork. Get right through that tender tortilla. Pull me out some of that shredded chicken. Oh god. Let's keep going. Toe Bean Lord. Something I finished yesterday. Hopefully we'll animate it a little sometime soon. Oh, she's adorable. Even with her little band-aid over her cracked CRT face. I ain't never seen a screen blush before. Growing a little succulent. That's more than I can do. I kill everything I touch. It's absolutely terrible. 50 Shades of Burrito. I like the dress and the boot combo, too. It's kind of punky. I dig it. You know you like it, oh Coral. You know you're here for this. You have a good night, man. Somehow my succulents are alive. I have a black thumb, so to speak. I kill essentially everything that I touch. Yeah, really good color palette. I like the slight purple on the knees and elbows and shoulders. That's a nice touch. Kind of matches the blush, since our skin tone is that same CRT gray. And a little heart in the eye. Oh, I like it. Very, very nice, Toby and Lord. I've been outdone. I can't ruin this one. I think you're just being nice, sewer creature. I believe you could if you really tried. Here we have from the Happy Heretic. Played a game of Alpha Strike this past Monday. Brought out New York Clan Hell's Horses Mechanized Star. New York Clan Hell's Horses? NY Clan Hell's? I mean, that must be it. 4 mechs and 6 vehicles marked probably the first time a clan force outnumbered spheroids. Strangely enough, the stars of the match were the vehicles, especially this bandit hover tank, which took down 2 mechs all by itself. Decided it needed some kill markings. Yeah, I was gonna say probably I'm gonna go with my clan Hell's Horses, because I'm like, I have no idea how that could possibly connect. That's strange. I was like, it's like some kind of sports teams reference. I wouldn't know. Decided I needed some kill markings as a reward. Settled on blue lightning bolts, which I think look pretty neat. I like it coming in sort of across the bow there. Lightning bolts are if you can get in there with a fine brush and do a slight white core to them, it's going to help them pop a little bit more, but you got the shape down really, really nicely. I love this kind of deep bronzy color you got here. I'm guessing this is mostly just a base and a wash, but this is really, really well done. Clans are over glorified sports teams anyway. I mean, essentially, yeah. Yeah, the golden bronze is really sharp looking. Absolutely, that's what jumped out for me. Hey, Supernaut, welcome in. Each kill earns it a new lightning bolt. Yeah, I glazed some white in earlier today. Yeah, it's tricky. Doing lightning bolts is certainly tricky. I've done a few of them on some of the Storm Chaser mechs, and I only kinda just got decent at it. How you doing tonight, Supernaut? It's good to see you, man. We've been working on some BattleTech turrets. Designed ourselves up a plasma rifle and the PPC. Oh my god. Every time Sam Mini has got to come in here and just humble the lot of us. The advance on the Frost Giant female version. You see how he's coming in with these warm golden tones now? And this is a great example if you were here to see this one last time when it was all the cool tones, and the warmest tone we had were some of the livid purple tones. You see how the blue, how the gold, particularly the gold, sets off the blues and the purples? It like, none of these colors have changed, but they look different. with the gold worked in. God, I suck. What am I doing with my life, man? Oh, it's good to see you, Sam Mini. How are things, man? Skin tones reminds me a bit of Zon from Farscape. Yeah, there's a sort of a, what's the word? Not pearlescent, but a sort of iridescent quality to the skin tone. Like, you get the feeling, even though these are obviously painted color variations, you get the feeling that if she were standing in front of you in full light and you were to move around, you would get sort of a color shift, a dynamic blue-purple shift, sort of like Zon's paint used to give her. Of course, she's probably not going to get, like, skin cancer from her paint at the very least. That's something. Yeah, I know, Sewer Creature. And I love seeing Sam's work. It's incredibly inspirational. But there's work I see where I'm like, I'm gonna try that next time I paint. And then there's Sam Mini's work where I look at it and I'm like, I'm gonna try that 5 to 10 years from now. Just gonna file this one away. The hair, though, I do try to take notes. I do try to take notes from painters like Sam Mini. I appreciate your fingers getting in here, by the way. Just to give us some reference on, this figure is not as big as you might think. It's I think you said 75mm scale? It's still fairly compact. Some really nice, fine filigree work on here. I'm curious what's going to come of that. I really continue to love the tiara / crown and the hair. I think that this hair is something that I continue to struggle with. 120mm. Okay, thank you. Hair is something that I continue to struggle with just because it has a very particular sheen to it. And it benefits from a real high contrast job, kind of like is done on this little braid hanging right here. This is lovely. This is absolutely lovely work, Sam Mini. And I'll tell you what, Sam Mini, more than anything, what I appreciate about your postings, and please, 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 continue to do this as long as you feel like it, I love the works in progress. Seeing figures like this done is really, really impressive. But seeing the works in progress and the steps along the way, that's educational. And a big focus of why I do the Storm Report is to kind of try and help all of us grow as we continue to paint. And being able to see works like this a step at a time, a chunk of work at a time, I find it inspirational, I find it educational, and I hope that others do too. Sam Mini, thank you again for sharing. Here we have from Matt J. Meyer. Working on this from a friend. Pencils are coming close to being done. Inks are up next. Ooh. That's a giant man. Oh, this is really good for pencil. I am so bad at 2D art. Like, it always hurts me a little bit when we get really good 2D art in here because I am nowhere near as good at giving meaningful commentary on two-dimensional art. Like, it's arguable if I'm good at doing it on 3-dimensional art, but 2D, I'm like, oh, I like it. I love the dude's skull mask on here. That's pretty cool. Like the broken front of a skull just sort of strapped over his face. Ah, dwarf with axe. Fight orc man. Properly dwarfy, complete with the big bushy eyebrows. I like that. I like that his axe has another dwarf on it. It's this little dwarf with a little beard. Would this be a bearded axe, despite not being in that style? I mean, you know, discuss. Oh, there's like floating islands in the background here. Where are we? Is this like the Underdark? You get a peek at Menzo Berenson. It looks like maybe there's a roof on things. It's hard to tell. The homeboy's real big though. Good God, those intense eyes. He is focused. His biceps are literally larger than this dwarf. So if he backhands you with an axe, he leaves an imprint, and you just plink! And there's like a dwarf stamped into your fucking face. Because why the hell not, right? I dig it. Very, very cool work. Alright, alright, alright. Let's come down a little bit here. Oh, we got an Instagram link. You know what? We don't normally do Instagram links, but I'm going to allow it since Panda's new to the stream. And because I have this power. Let's have a look. Let's drop a little follow here to Small Folk Studios. Y'all folks can find the link in the Storm Report channel. And I'm going to go ahead and drop it real quick just in chat if y'all feel like heading on over there. Ooh. Sister of Battle on diorama base. I like it. Got a couple angles on there. Ooh, lots of rust. Very rusty. The grimmest of dark. A happy little... It looks like one of the dozers to me. That's what I'm getting. Poison Ashy. It looks like a dozer from Fraggle Rock to me. Ooh, we got... Who is this guy? This is the Dark Mechanicus bro, isn't he? I remember when this model came out. I've only seen a few painted versions of it. Ooh, I like the heat transition effect coming up here along the heat glaive. That's the chain glaive, rather. That's nice. I appreciate that you did caution stripes on a flag. That's asking for trouble, but that actually reads pretty nicely. Lord Discordant, is that it? I'm so far behind. Oh, the toxic green base and everything. That's pretty cool. Oh, those are some intense eyes. Those eyes are actually pretty good. For the level of painting I'm seeing here, those eyes actually read really nicely. The blue and the gold are always a good combo. Interesting mix of figures. But yeah, I was saying some Age of Sigmar, some 40k, some Malifaux. Let's have a look at this. I like okay, I'm an Iron... If I'm doing Chaos, I'm like... I got my favorite legions. Iron Warriors are up there. I have a lot of... we don't read descriptions here. I have a lot of nostalgia for Iron Warriors. So when I see Chaos with silver armor and hazard stripes, like, I'm in. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, looks like we got a whole Iron Warriors motif going on here. Really nice work. Very, very cool. And thank you so much for posting that up. I hope that we get to see some more work from you in the future, Panda. Alright, let's have a look at what Gray Mail is sharing with us tonight. Added the next few layers of highlights while watching the stream. Not sure if I should go a thinner brush, push just a step higher on the highlights, still need to do the hair and finish the eyes. So my advice here, Gray Mail, this is the perfect place to glaze that green. Very, very gently. Glaze over that green to sort of bring it together, and then come back in and do like one more quick round of highlights. It's gonna smooth all of this out and let you choose a couple of focal points, because this is beautiful, but what I'm gonna say about it is that it's a little diffuse across the model. So my advice would be glaze some green over this to bring this all together and to sort of ease out and blend some of these edges, and then come back in and just do highlights on focal points. And what I mean by that is I'm talking like eyebrows, nose, cheekbones, chin, top of your pectoral muscles here, top of your shoulders and traps, a little bit on the bicep, down here on the fingers and hands. Like, choose the focal points of the musculature that you want to really stand out. Because that's what's going to make the model pop. There's a lot of great detail over here, but it's almost hard to see because everything looks kind of busy. But the cording is really, really good. So if you glaze that, dull it a little bit, and then pick your focal points, he's going to look fucking fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry, Phaedros. It was... I mean, we did it at the same time. It's 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But don't worry, Phaedros. You'll be able to get yours in first for the next one, and you'll be shown first on Sunday, my friend. And just go gentle. Just remember, always remember, it's easy to add paint. It's virtually impossible to take it off. So just add a little bit at a time and see how you like it. Don't go nuts. JP got rockets. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, my friend. What were you up to today? Glaze is very light. Yeah, I mean, by definition, glazing needs to be light. And try it out first. Like, start back here. Don't start someplace up here where you can get it wrong and then be angry with yourself. Start, like, back here. And just glaze kind of gently and see how you like it. And then once you're comfortable with it, then move on to the other points. Because you see, like, you've already got some good focal points, like the tip of the elbow here. And you really want to focus on pieces like that. Alright, let's see what we got up next from Voxel Forge. That's pretty badass looking. That's pretty good. I like that. Got that real World Eaters energy going on here. The horns are a nice touch. They're kind of like a Minotaur looking thing here, and this is like, I mean, you know, Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines alike. The era of Space Marines that I come from, I'm still not like totally down with the new Primaris helmets with their funny little snouts and their little diagonal slits. I like the frowny face. The frowny grill to me is just such an iconic part of their whole look, and it's like extra exaggerated here. It's so cool looking. Hang on, do I have... I got two things I want to share with you real quick. First of all, I love this. I want to share one with you that I'm not sure where he got these pieces from. But look at this fucking face. I love this helmet. I love... See how exaggerated the frown is? And he almost did like a stormtrooper thing with it, where it extends down to the two little, like, tusky doodles. It's so fucking cool. There's another good example of how good chunky highlights can still work for great-looking paint jobs. But I love this helmet. I am not sure where he got this. But I absolutely love that helmet. What's the other one that I wanted to show? This is something that this made me think of that I would like to try paint scheme-wise. It's almost an inverse highlight that I just thought was really, really cool when I saw it. See how the plates are bright towards the inside, and then they darken out to an iron, and then the closest thing to have to a highlight are these really, really gentle metallic edges. I would like to try this on something. Because I think that oils would work really, really well for doing a paint job like this. I don't want to do it on Space Marines, but... Yeah, like a precursor to the tusk. Yeah, you can almost see how the tusks would grow out of that, right? For the big, nasty Chaos Terminator. But I don't like the Primaris helmets. I don't know, this is something about them. They just don't... What's funny is I saw somebody who took the old Mark 7 Aquila helmets with the frowny face and put them onto Primaris bodies, and they just look better to me. They need to have a proper, like, angry, judgmental face on them, or they're not Space Marines. Your desired helmet expression, brother? Disapproval. Judgment. My face is my shield. My armor is contempt. It is a great paint job. It's something that I would like to try. Very much so. This is coming together fucking fantastically, though. I really, really dig the implementation of the... I like how he has the lightning bolts on his armor. They kind of remind me of the aesthetic of, like, the Thunder Warriors, kind of harkening back. I like the big raised gorget, too. I'll tell you what we need to see that's really going to complete this profile for us, Voxel Forge, though, is the codpiece of corn. Oh, boners for the boner god. What we really need to see is the backpack. We need to have the backpack on him. I'm curious if you're going to go with the one that has, like, the big raised vents like most Chaos Marines have, that really old pattern one, because that completes the profile of the Chaos Marine, for me. Alright, let's see what we got next from Sewer Creature. A quick, cheaty work in progress of the redraw of Mafik's submission from a week ago. I remember... This one looks significantly more, rotting. It's it does, it looks unwell. Yeah. How do you... this is an art form that, like, I talk about, I don't really understand two-dimensional art. It's not something I'm good at. I'm bad at sketching, even. I'm bad at, like, technical sketching. 8-bit, or rather, pixel art is something that eludes me even more. I love pixel art. I think that there's some amazing things people have done with it, but as far as creating it, my brain just doesn't work this way. And so when it's capable of evoking these complex ideas out of such very, very simple shapes, I'm always kind of mystified by it. Yeah, exactly, Sumitha. Amazingly disconcerting for the very, very low number of pixels. Yeah, may have. You might have made it yourself a little bit. Goes back to the ancient Roman scutum, the lightning bolts sell the legion idea. Yeah, you know what? I hadn't thought of that, JP Got Rockets, but you're absolutely right. Now that I think about the old Legionnaire shields, they would always have the lightning bolts coming out of the center. That's very true. Also notice the pure marks on the head. The little... Ew. I mean, it looks bruised. Yeah. they look horrible and bruised. Purple. Okay, there we go. I was like, pure. What the fuck? Pure bruising? What are we getting at here? What does that mean? It's disconcerting one way or the other. You do pixel art, Pandago? I would love to see some of your pixel art. Oh, here we have from Riot Sister, Robot Dude with AP Dark Tone Wash to make the brass not so bright and brassy. You know, brass being bright and brassy is okay. Brass is pretty yellow. I love this model. This is pretty cool. That is a lovely red you got there too, Riot Sister. It's really a very, very rich red. We got kind of a greenish visor coming in here, which contrasts well. All in all, going with red and gold is pretty much always a winning combination. And it looks like we got some white panels on here too, sort of a cream. That's nice. Good contrast there. He's got that real relaxed, like, arm back stance going on, you know? He's like, fucking bring it, motherfucker! Come at me, bro! Come at me, bro! Whenever I misspell something like that, I get irrationally angry. It's okay. It's okay. You're among friends, sewer creature. It's fine. I'm just glad to see something you painted, Riot Sister. We haven't seen anything since... Was it that octopus? Which was also very cool. That's Bold Pyro Red. That explains a lot. Damn, dude. I mean, like... I have a hard time not being impressed at the colors that... I can't think of the paint brand now. It's super popular. It's fucking... I have a bunch of it. As the screw top dropper bottles Pro Acryl. Thank you, Riot Sister. Yes, yes, yes. It's fantastic paint. It's some of the best dry brushing paint I've ever used in my life. Oh, this came out wonderfully. He might be missing his hand, though. We're gonna call that battle damage. We're gonna go with that. Well, that explains a lot. Vergaderung knows what he's doing, particularly as far as color combos go, because red with cream and brass, like, that's just a winner, and then a little splash of green up there. Man, if you punch that green up, make that a little bit more vibrant, so it just, pow, just pops right out, that'd look fucking amazing. Maybe come back in here and hit the, like, these little, like, because breaking up the red is important, and, like, breaking it up with some of the brass here on the pistons would just kind of punch it up a little bit more, but it is a fucking great paint job. His weapon is being painted now as we okay, that explains a lot. It's like, hopefully, he's not just missing his hand. He's got a gun that's supposed to go there. I gotcha. Here we have from Merlin Models. This thing is so good. This is really good. And again, pay attention to the fact that this is a pin vise. This is like a 1mm pin vise. This is essentially a paperclip stuck in here. This thing is basically at, like... It is larger on the screen now than it is in real life. Merlin, this is coming together great, man. You're punching up the non-metallic metal. I can see that it definitely reads a little bit brighter. That's a nice clean blue with some good shading. Classic orc colors with a ketchup and mustard mottled color scheme. Those checkers are so clean for how small they are. It has that brutalist old orc aesthetic with the big jutting, like, Billy Bob teeth, big angry eyebrows. I miss the good old days of 40k. I really do. I really like the freehand flames down here, and that very particularly orky style with the very, very long, drawn-out tongues of fire. Those are freehand. Those are freehand, Sumitha. He did those for the... And again, understand how small this model is. This model is smaller than a Space Marine. It might have the same mass as a Space Marine, but it's squatter than a Space Marine. Let's put it that way. It's very difficult to do non-metallic metal on this scale, but damn it if it doesn't read well, particularly on the weapon barrel here, particularly on all the metallic edging up front along the belly. This is a gorgeous piece. Merlin, I'm very, very excited for you getting to enter some of your pieces in competition at long last. I know you're excited to do it. I can't wait to hear the results, whatever they may be, because this is you know, the first step into a larger world. You absolutely have the skills, you absolutely have the vision to be a top-level competition painter, and getting to be there at the beginning is very, very exciting for me. Oh, here we have from Riot Sister what he looked like originally. Yeah, a little duller. A little duller. He's definitely more punched up now. I'm telling you, though. Lean into that green, work some yellow in there. That's a wonderful focal point for the model. It's overall a very, very cool design. Here we have from Forgotarone. Iron Within. That was my first 40k army back in the 90s. I bought it from a friend. It was not the first 40k army that I painted. It was, I bought it painted from a friend. Painted very, very badly, but I played Iron Warriors for a long time before I started getting my own models. I think the first army that I bought and painted were the Tau as they came out in the early 2000s. And then I moved over into regular Space Marines for a while. And I haven't been into 40k for some time now, a handful of years. But I will always have a soft spot for Iron Warriors as a result. Oh, here we have from Forgotarung. No actual progress to show, but I have 10 more missile effects. Roughed out and complicated up to 300 megs each. Complicated? Roughed out and complicated? We'll roll with it. Up to 300 megs each and ready for sculpting. Oh, complicated, as in mesh compiled. Maybe complicated as in he upped the mesh resolution to the point that they're ready to sculpt now. Because when you just make cylinders like this as primitives, they have very, very few vertices in them. And you have to add a bunch of vertices into the mesh to make it so that you can then add details to them, otherwise they just jag the fuck out. I mean, really just remeshed. That's sort of the phrase for it, Forgotarung. Subdivided is another good word for it. Should be able to cover the Catapult, Thunderbolt, Archer, Longbow, Stalker, Centurion, Warhammer, Battlemaster, Trebuchet, Orion, Victor, Cyclops, Banshee, and Sendel. Maybe more. Holy Christ. This is a man on a mission. Yeah, this is going to cover a lot of the different CGL sort of standard arrangements. I can see what you're going for. This does look like a dick and balls, though. Like, I know you're making missiles. I know that you're going to do more sculpting on this. It's just sort of my responsibility, you know? Like, as your friend, as a sculptor, as a content creator, let you know this does look a lot like a dick and balls. Just keep that in mind as you work. Isn't it amazing how spite can motivate a person? And if there's anybody to spite in this world, it should be Scrog, because fuck that guy. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. That's mean. I haven't met him in person. He might be a very nice person who just can't communicate for shit online and occasionally says very dumb things. Who am I to criticize someone like that? Have you heard the shit that comes out of my mouth? I'm a high-functioning moron. People in glass houses should not throw rocks, as they say. And speaking of throwing rocks, that'll bring us to the end of the Storm Report and the end of tonight's stream. I don't really know what that segue is. I don't know how that relates to throwing rocks. I needed something to say, and so I jumped on it. Alright, hang on a second now. We are going to raid someplace very particular. Oh no, my voice is echoing in my brain. WBPL 76. Make sure he is going right now. He appears to be. So why don't we head on over there and take a look at the mech that he's painting, because some of you might recognize it. Hey, X-Bron, welcome in. We are literally just about to start our raid. I'm sorry, man. But it's wonderful to see you in chat. So let's go ahead and get that started up right quick. Folks, I know a lot of you are probably headed to bed here pretty soon. It is a bit late, but if you feel like sticking around for just a minute, I would appreciate it. Black Pants Legion Parallax over there is painting a model that we sculpted right here in this very stream, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. I know I am. I'm probably going to have it on my phone while I eat dinner, because I'm fucking hungry. We're going to be back Sunday the 14th doing some model painting. I'm not sure exactly what yet. I will let you know on the Discord as we get closer. Tuesday, we'll be doing the same. Thursday the 18th, we'll be back to doing some more 3D modeling. We'll be done with this by then. I think we'll probably be starting a new mech next week. We have a mech that we are calling the Pioneer, from the talented mind of, as he is now calling himself, I believe, JP Designs? I think that's what we're going with. Either way, it promises to be a good time. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It is always a pleasure to get to hang out and chat with you fine people, and I hope to be able to dump these files on you here in the immediate future as soon as I can wrap up a few details on them. As always, thank you to my amazing mod team, everybody who contributed to the Storm Report, and a huge thank you to Bianca for that amazing raid earlier. I'm going to send you guys on over there and get myself something to eat, so until next time, keep on painting.